Hello, welcome to the League D end of season championship between BitterWurmcoil and LTaco. I am joined by the wonderful Strumpf.
Hi.
For this match. So what's the format for this match look like?
First to 3.5 or something?
Okay.
I think. I haven't checked. I was so nervous because I have this wonderful intro prepared, you know?
Well, let's then go to the intro package. Take it away.
Okay. Are you ready?
I was born ready.
Okay. Welcome to the D-League Championship. BitterWurmcoil is here to win. She uses she and her and as the higher seed. 67% wins got her in. LTaco played in D the first time. He uses he and him. It'll be the first time up in C tier next season for both of them. Here we go. One beat Shower, one beat Honey Buzz X to make it here, these two. Now you know our players and we're ready to go. That's the D Championship for you. It's the D Championship, D Championship. It's the D Championship, D Championship. It's the D Championship for you. It's the D Championship for you.
Wonderful.
Yay!
I had to resist the urge to harmonize.
Well, maybe, yeah, okay, next time I can fill you in before. I wanted it to be a surprise for you as well.
It was very surprising. Okay, let's take a look at this first kingdom.
No. Okay, fine.
So, trashing Dr. Scrap.
I covered all the stuffs, right? Except for I didn't look up the format of the tournament that I am a moderator of. But yeah, if you have any more questions about the players, feel free to ask. I think I answered all of them.
Yeah, so, yeah, this game seems a little awkward. Draw is a little awkward. Trashing is a little awkward. Everything seems a little awkward. Orchard wants you to have 3 copies of cards in hand, and Warlord wants you to have 2 copies of cards in deck, so that one...
Market tons as you can play on in your buy phase, correct?
Yeah, you can play action cards in your buy phase.
Oh, but importers are only liaison.
Yeah, but you could play Archer, for example, in your buy phase, if you terminal collide early. So it's probably worth adding in a couple of terminals early, and then adding in villages later, because you can smooth out at least 5 collisions. Yeah, importer.
I didn't notice the trail. I love trail. Isn't like scrap trail a village?
Yeah. Scrap trail is a village, and you gain a horse and a coin. And your hand size goes back up to 5. So you can also importer experiments, which Shar has mentioned. So buying an importer and just gaining experiments every time seems it's a little sad, but I mean, I guess you don't import experiments necessarily. You might want to import some lost cities, but yeah, the scrap trail stuff seems pretty strong. I think you want to thin some estates before you go to the trails. And maybe you get one investment to thin out coppers, and then you build a deck where you're doing importer trail. Importer trail is also a village, by the way. It's kind of like a ghost town. So you do importer stuff, and then scrap trail for card action, coin horse or coin buy, and that's sort of your engine there. With the caveat that you can only play 2 of every card because of Warlord.
This is gonna take long, isn't it?
They're playing it pretty quick already, and they've already been rotating the piles, so we're already seeing Warlords. I think we want to click on Warlords pretty aggressively here when we have the chance, if we can get 3 Warlords to our opponent's 1. But
Yes.
you can imagine you're playing with 2 scraps, 2 trails, 2 lost cities, 2 importers, as many experiments as you can get, 2 Warlords, 2 battle plans, and then at some point later on in the game, you look to add 3rd copies of things for the Orchard points and for reliability. Do we care about 3-1 Warlords? Yeah? I want I want to have a turn where I can play more copies of things than my opponent does. Just kind of a... Go ahead.
Just so I understand it, Experiment is not affected by Warlord because it returns to the...
Correct. So there's no copies of Experiment in play.
Okay. So we want Experiments.
Yes. And I think if you're playing with multiple importers and scrap for buy horse, I think you're building to a Triumph engine. It's like 2 importers gain 4 experiments, and scrap trail gains card action, silver horse, that kind of stuff. And then your Triumph is quickly going to be worth a province or more.
Say that again. What? How?
So if 2 importer, if you have 2 importers,
where do you guys come from?
Scrap. You're right. You can't play 2 importers per turn. Well, you can if you have 3 warlords, but yeah, you play 1 importer a turn. So you start the turn by gaining 2 experiments, or maybe 1 trail, and then every time you scrap trail, you do card action, buy horse or coin horse or something, and you're very quickly gaining quite a few cards in your turn for Triumph. Okay. And then you can potentially scrap the estates or use investments to scrap the estates later. So that's what I would be looking to do. Here. So this is a spot where BitterWurmcoil should not take plus action. She's got 5 favors. She might as well use Market Towns here and take a coin or a buy or a silver or something. Mm-hmm. Because if we end the game with more than 1 favor, we've underused Market Towns. To be fair, maybe she didn't want a silver in her deck. That's possible.
Deduct style points in that scenario.
Yeah. How does Market Towns work with Warlord? Warlord will block Market Towns. Market Towns says play an action from hand. Warlord says play an action from the hand. I don't like the Charlatan here. It feels slow. Feels like it's not helping your deck very much. Kubu disagrees. Curses are bad. Yeah, you've got scrap, you've got investment. If you get a second investment, like the time you spent gaining the Charlatan, you could have gained cards that actually help your deck, like Lost City, Scrap, and Trail.
LTaco also disagrees.
Yeah. Second Charlatan seems really bad to me. Opponent just gets second investment and then thins out the curses and has extra Lost Cities and stuff. But I'm still surprised. Importers at 10, experiments at 10, trails at 10. Experiments always go back to 10, right? But importers at 10 is pretty surprising to me. I would expect here even you open with an importer scrap or something. What did they open with? Battle plan scrap. I think I like importer scrap better. I don't know that you have to open with battle plan. You
open with battle plan.
You are well known that you like the clashes, though.
Am I?
Yes, I have seen you play mini games, and you always get battle plans.
Fine.
You played a besties match, and every time there was at least one of the besties matches, you both clicked battle plan a bunch of times. Is my opponent rotating battle plan immediately? Like, are they rotating it turn 3? If my opponent rotates battle plans turn 3, they're only getting 1, and then I get access to archers and the warlords and stuff. If they are player 2, if they're player 1 and they open double battle plan, there's like a thing. I just don't see how you're completely locked out unless you miss 3. But I don't care about if my opponent has 1 battle plan and I don't have any. Like, they can only rotate the pile once, and then I get access to whatever they have the next turn, and my deck is going to be better because I have an importer which can just gain the archer or the warlord at the beginning of the turn. Would be my thought. You can certainly draw badly. This is something that happens where just like your opponent rotates to the warlords, and then you draw all of your bad cards in one turn, even though your deck is better, and then you're very sad. and then your opponent hits 5 with the worst deck, and then they just win. But I mean, your opponent does have control over the time, but your deck is better. So like, there's in theory not really a good time for them to rotate, and they have to rotate twice in succession.
You're working on the assumption that your deck is better, which I don't fully. I don't see the vision right now, but.
Well, my importer is able to gain whatever I want after the trying fight. So I gain a Lost City, I gain a Charlatan, I gain investment. I can even gain a Trail for the village effect. I can gain a second scrap, gain 2 experiments, or gain an Archer or a Warlord if they're on top of the pile. So I think importer scrap opening makes more sense to me. I think double importer opening also makes a lot of sense.
Double importer.
With the market towns for smoothing. This is a nice doctor.
Yeah.
We trashed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cards there.
Doctor also activates Trail.
Yes.
Usually.
Kind of. It does, but it doesn't help you.
When you buy it, right? When you buy it, but not when you play it.
Correct.
Okay. I just love Trail so much.
I mean, no, you can say Doctor and name Trail. That works fine. So saying, like, having a deck filled with Trails and playing Doctor naming Trail.
Oh, right, because of the trash. Oh my god, Trail is such a great card. I don't know if you know this, but Trail is a wonderful card. My new favorite.
I have not really ever made Trail work in any games yet. So I'm excited to be able to do that someday.
Mm-hmm.
The nice thing about the Doctor overpay is now we can just scrap the Doctor pretty happily.
There are so many great Trail interactions, like all of them, basically.
Yeah, definitely. Scrap Trail, I think, is the best one here.
Kubu asked a loaded question.
Yes, Kubu, I have. I just have not rolled any games with Trail and a Trasher somehow, where it was viable.
But it's not even trashing. Like, you can also, if you just discard it, you know? Trail is wonderful.
I'm unclear what Stobezy. Okay, Stobezy's trashing the investment now. That seems crazy. I would think you could trash the investment now because the curse counts as a treasure, right? So you get an extra VP if you trash a copper here, which is a fun interaction with investment plus Charlatan. I'm not sure that it's good, but I think I would rather have trashed we see the Doctor trash 2 curses. So obviously, if you can trash 2 curses with Doctor, you're pretty happy to do that. I really want Importer and Trail here for BitterWurmcoil. Yeah, I wasn't tracking BitterWurmcoil's deck to know that there were 2 curses that we could get rid of. Not clear to me that I would have trashed. Like, I might have scrapped a copper, scrapped a curse, and then investment trashed a copper and hit 8 or something. Okay, we did trap Scrail, and we were even able to activate the Trail to get a copper off the top of the deck. One of the two of us is very, very impressed with that. Hint.
I don't know, I would know, like, because of the deck tracking, or...
Well, Doctor showed her that there was a copper on top. So she knew.
Okay.
So LTaco, his deck has just not really come together, it seems. And I'm going to blame that on the Charlatans.
Fine.
Oh, here it is.
Ah, the village, look at it.
Card action buy horse. Nice.
Best card.
And we can even play Doctor here and name... We can play Doctor here and name...
Name Trail.
Name Trail. We don't have any Trails, but we'll top deck the horse. I think you just trash... There's only the one Trail, I think. LTaco has the other 2 trails. I kind of want the investment back though for BitterWurmcoil, as we still do have 4 cards. Certainly, we want to thin. Lost City. I would go trail scrap. Just embrace the trail scrap. Well, we already have 2 scraps. Yeah, so trail here and importer. It seems like criminal not to have 2 importers here, overlapping every turn.
This will be your chance. Go, 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 go. You can do it.
Like, you take the second trail, and then, so you take the importers. So if you have 2 importers, you just every turn are gaining a trail or a lost city.
It happened.
You do need to be careful with trail here. What about once you have a bunch in your deck? I'm only getting 2. You can also trash it, right? You can also actually trash a trail and then make Strumpf sad.
I want all the trails. What do you mean you have to be careful?
The Warlord. The Warlord blocks you from playing more than 2 in a turn.
Okay, fine.
But even if Importer is just gaining experiments, or whatever engine piece you need for that turn to kick off, investment, certainly we can gain an investment along the way. But it looks like...
Does it work? Can you play them from trashing? I don't think so.
The trails?
Yeah, which are the same.
It says you may play it. Oh boy. I'm going to need a rules maven here. I don't know. It doesn't say from your hand. So I think the answer is if you trash it out of your hand, you cannot play it. But if you trash it with Doctor, you could play it. And that sounds terribly complicated.
I would love for one of them to try.
Yeah, so it seems like discarding... It seems like trashing would be fine. Oh, so Char says it does work. Yeah. Okay.
More trails.
What BitterWurmcoil needs here is a trasher, though.
More trails.
So... investment, I guess. We can only trash 2 with scrap, so I guess we want to investment gain trails, I guess.
Discard the trail, yes! No.
That was a quick undo. I will allow it.
Yeah, sure. Okay, fine.
Let's see what BitterWurmcoil does here. This is not... I am thinking investment, experiments, triumph would be what I would be looking to do here.
How about a second importer?
Experiments, importer, triumph. I believe in that too. That seems better than what I said.
Well,
BitterWurmcoil agrees with me. That's why she always beats me, and you can sometimes beat her.
I did. By accident, I have to assume.
You have also played LTaco quite a bit.
No, it was just 1 league match.
Oh, 1 league match.
Mm-hmm.
That is more league matches than I've played either of these players.
I wonder why that is, Charlatan.
So you are the expert.
I am. Well, LTaco sent me a link to a Disney ripoff musical yesterday, and I am still watching it because it's like over 2 hours long, but it's hilarious, and so I might be slightly biased now.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I am... Ooh, we got to, all sorts of trail stuff going on. I guess we discard, the horse is a fun card to discard. So again, we trashed our investment a couple turns ago, and we've added some more stop cards. And as we're seeing here, BitterWurmcoil's not quite making it through the deck. I think probably experiments, investment, triumph again, like the same, run back the same line. And
if you had the importer, you could have
gained. We could have played the importer and gained. Well, next turn we'd be gaining the other investment because I'm worried about the deck control being lost here. I think double experiment triumph is also fine. We're just adding a ton of VP, and if the turn plays out the same next turn, then we're okay with that because we're thinning one more deck curse along the way. We've also taken, I think, far too many silvers. As we see, we're not drawing deck here, so this is, it probably doesn't matter because she's so far ahead.
Are those the scrap silvers?
Yeah.
Oh, but you take them for the triumph? No.
Yeah, I assume we're taking them for the triumph points, which is not unreasonable. But I think I would rather have taken. Well, we took buy with both. I think I would rather just take card most of the time. But you're saying she has a 28-point lead. It seems pretty tough at this point for LTaco to come back. I would not be surprised, as I say, I would not be surprised if LTaco resigns here. And we did. So that's game 1 to BitterWurmcoil. And it's second player, it looks like. And we move on to game 2.